Hello, and welcome back to From the Source podcast. This is episode 37. Now, this is going to be a quick one, and let's excuse the pun for the episode today, but it's based on tempo and timing and a really beginner-friendly way to talk about really time under tension and what amount of time you need to take between sets and what the difference is between shorter rests and longer rests, really. And kind of tempo and rest is probably one of the main components that's overlooked when people are just starting off training. They either take way too much rest or they're so keen and excited to lift weights and run and do whatever that they forget to rest and wonder why the training and the performance is dropping off. So hopefully this episode clears up rest and timings for you and the best way forward to help you training. So what really does tempo mean? There's loads of different words you'll hear bandied about, and if you've got social media, which obviously you probably have if you listen to this, but you'll see loads of different types of information out there. But tempo really just involves how fast or slow you perform a lifting exercise, a running exercise. So it's around, if you're squatting, for example, how quick you go down, how quick you come back up, if there's any pause. With you running, it's when you're doing the tempos, it's how fast you do those tempos, how much you slacken off to either a walk or a slow jog. But the different speeds that you do the tempos at have different effects and influences over your body. For squatting, for example, which is like an easy one to do, time under tension, as they call it, or the tempo, you've got more muscle control. The time under tension is like the bit that allows your body to understand and adapt to what's going on. Joint stress, so there's more pressure on the joints if you're going a lot slower. And then you've got movement quality. So if you can imagine you're just squatting like up, down, like really fast, there's no real control. Do you really know what muscles are being worked? Because by the time you get to the bottom of the squat, you're already coming back up. You're all over the place. So movement quality is a major thing with kind of why time under tension training or tempo training is more beneficial. I do that type of training, time under tension, more than just like your standard just squatting and lifting weights and stuff, because with your running and if you're high roxing or crossfitting, you want the full muscle to be strong rather than just, yes, I can lift 60, 80 kilos pretty quick, but can you really control it? So movement quality is a big one, but moving with the intent of the motion that you're doing matters a lot more than showing off to your mates and telling them how much you can lift or how heavy you can lift or how fast you can lift or how far you can throw it and stuff like that. If you're running, if you're doing tempo training and you've trained with enough people, yeah, it's pretty good to, on your first tempo, you can run it 10 seconds or 100 meters quicker than the people that you're doing it with. But can you do it repeatedly? Can you do it when push comes to shove and you get to that fifth set? Can you really do it then? It's all well and good showing off at the start, but can you still be there to stand at the end? And rushing those reps and going out too hot at the start doesn't impress anyone. It doesn't benefit anyone. You've fatigued yourself straight from the start, and all you've done is potentially increase your chance of injury or definitely increase your chance of not being there at the end and not finishing. So understanding tempo as a beginner is a major thing. If you can do time under tension training when you first start, you will be miles stronger than people later on in life, later on in that lifting journey. If you can smoothly control like 80 kilos on a bench and make it look like you're lifting just a bag of sugar, you generally you'll be miles stronger all round. You've got the people that like do judo and stuff that hold those. I don't even know what the moves are called, but you're literally just holding against each other. And that loosely is like time under tension. You just two forces of them are meeting and you're just working out whether to like who's going to topple first and stuff. But you've kept your body like so strong. Think of a prop in rugby, for example. They get down for like a scrum. They've got the weight of everyone behind them and they just hold that position. Time under tension, they can hold themselves there and then not moving. Would you rather be like that strong and that impressive, or just be able to like lift stuff but kind of fall apart? God, it's been a long day. Fall apart, and just be like show off strength. So resting, obviously resting's a big thing for all of us. Resting's something I really need right now, but we have to plow on. But different lengths of rest will determine what kind of different parts of your body is going to be used. So obviously, the shorter the rest, these people, if you're just starting off and you're getting like loads of short rest, I used to train like this, like when you were doing high rocks and stuff, because you're obviously running your lap and then you basically were getting 10 seconds rest and then had to do an exercise. And it's just basically being good or training your body to be good under like stressful situations where you're absolutely blowing, you've just got to carry on. So when it's shorter, you're increasing the amount of like fatigue you can get, but it is that muscular endurance. You're building that, increasing those lactic acid levels, stopping cramp, allowing your muscle to perform longer under stressful situations. But the downside of that is if you're doing, well, whatever exercises you're doing, lifting or running, you limit the amount of strength that you can output. So your legs are going to feel heavy if you're running. You have to really dig deep. You bench pressing, you're going to get like really weak. That 60 is going to feel like a ton. It's not going to move. So shorter rest is like really good for muscular endurance, but you can't do that every single session because you're not going to get anywhere. Your moderate rest is the standard like 90 seconds that people normally take. It's when I used to bench press with people, it was I bench, I have a little chat, you bench, I have a little chat, and then sit on the bench and then do my set and then just float around like that. So it was a little bit of a rest. But this is obviously good for your hypertrophy, your big. Well, it's the difference. It's like the middle ground for like fatigue and performance. So you're not like completely out of breath. Some sets you're wishing you had a little bit more of a rest, but you can get to it. Good tempo sessions, you in and around this 90-second mark, probably pushing it a little bit, but around the 90-second mark, you feel like you've just stopped, but you haven't. You've had a rest, but you could go again. And then your longer rest is basically for like your training for like your 1 rep max, your pure strength. It's like better for your strength output and stuff. Good for like your sprinting, like flat out sprint, try and recover as much as you can. Just upwards of 3 minutes and you smash it out from there. So it's more like heavier lifting. And the longer you rest, basically, rule of thumb, the longer you rest, it's more on the strength side than it is the conditioning. Be aware of that. And if you're doing too much rest as a beginner, you're basically completely switching off. There's no training intensity at all. You're at the gym, and kids used to do this where they'd be like, I went to the gym for 2 hours. So yeah, you went to the gym for 2 hours, but did you actually train for 2 hours? Probably not, because it's ridiculous to like intensively train for that long. So I put down a few examples of like effective ways of tempo controlling. So you can maybe do like slow and controlled lowering on squats and presses and stuff that I've spoken about. Brief pauses at the bottom. So squat down, sit on it for a little bit, then go back up. Same with bench. Bring the bar down. Don't like completely rest it on your chest and loosely drop your arms away. Hold it just above your chest, straight back up. So little pauses, but it's a time under tension. It's on the lowering phase of whatever you're doing. So bicep curl it up to your body, slowly come down with it to the bottom, back up. Time and attention is good to reset your body, get those movements like nailed back on, and stop all that sloppiness that people have with, like I said, squats or deadlifts, literally anything. People get too carried away on like increasing the weights and stuff like that rather than actually getting good at 60, good at 70, good at 80 and progressing like that. They go, I'm strong enough to lift 90, I may as well just chuck it up. All you're going to do is just injure yourself. And the last little point, I know I said it was going to be quick. This is 11, 12 minutes of talking. So this is actually probably one of the shortest ones, but I put a little bit down here about how to structure your tempo workouts. So it's fewer exercises, but good movement quality. And then choose one lift out of that training session to really emphasize the tempo type training. So with the running at the minute, you can maybe get into the gym, lift some weights and do like squats or lunges. Lunges are a good one, even more because it's isolated to one leg. Tempos, slow down, hold at the bottom, straight back up, like normal speed, if you will. And then repeatedly do that, both legs. Promise you could do it at less weight. I could squat like maybe 80, 100 kilos consistently, but put like 40, 50 on there and do time with attention. You're shaking pretty well, but the quality reps using all those quads, hamstring control, glutes, hips, knees, absolutely everything. But yeah, it's about structuring it so like that main lift of that day is around that one time under tension, and then you could split it and finish the workout with like shorter rests, bit of muscle fatigue, really finish those legs off, if you will. Or I did a session where you just went straight into some 400s, like 6 400s, shorter-ish rest, just under that 1-to-1 rest ratio. That last kind of little bit of fatigue that you just blow out of your legs. But it's not like too much that everything's time and attention. You'd spend ages at the gym. You'd probably be bored. But you just got to keep everything simple. And that kind of really is a short whistle-stop tour of kind of time under tension. It's nothing exciting. Constant tempo type training is boring most of the time. It's effective and it works. Don't be out there rushing everything. Be consistent with it and increase the quality of your training, but control your reps and make sure you're taking the proper rest that'll work rather than just rushing through it as a beginner. So if anyone's got any questions about it, send me a quick message. I understand I've just flown through this, but yeah, I appreciate all the support. Thank you. Please share, comment on all the videos. Be scheduling some more for Instagram and TikTok and stuff. But yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.